back with another video 2. So I have the platform on YouTube now. I got the platform on Snapchat, and I am gonna start going live. I'm gonna start to push myself to start going live on Instagram, to get that intel on there too, because you know, you can never have too many supporters. You can never not spread something enough. So, you know, we're just gonna have the awareness on all the platforms. And you already know I post on YouTube, on Facebook. So, you feel me? But we're just gonna get right into it. I'm gonna just tell you a little bit more about me, get into a little bit more of, you know, the person. So while I'm talking, you guys might see me be painting my hair or something, or be playing with something, because I just can never sit still. Like, that's always been me. So I'm sorry if that's kind of like distracting, but just know that's just how I am. But so yeah, so honestly, when I first like really also had depression, I was in middle school. I was about, I want to say 12 or 13. I did go through a phase of starving myself. It got to the point I ended up like getting admitted to the hospital, and it wasn't like, you know, I was like trying to hurt myself, but you know, I could never be the type of person to actually kill harm myself physically. Even though I kind of was like, only some people close to me, I did eventually open up and kind of just tell them like it was nothing. But my depression really lasted up all the way, started within middle school and lasted all the way up to high school. If you already be tuning in on my Snap, you know, you guys kind of heard a little bit of this story. But yeah, my senior year was when I kind of realized, like, nobody's perfect. You know, I've had my times. You know, I did some anxious shit and I'm not proud of it, but you know, unfortunately, like, it just was not it. And I know there's a lot of us that have grown up in one of those. I was honestly living with different families. Like, I was going from family to family. Like, I was house. The past 3 years of my life, though, really did change me also for the better. I would have been okay, you feel me? I feel like I would have been further in life than what I am now. But it took for me to get kicked out. It took for me to really be on my own, to finally realize, like, yo, like, I need to shape the fuck up. I need to get myself right. I need to just like become better than what everything I'm feeling, everything I'm dealing with. And at first, at one point, my friends really did become my everything. Like, they were my family, because I just felt like my own family, like, was not there for me. And you know, if the family gatherings just became so fake to me, it just didn't feel real. So I really kind of distanced myself from my family because of that. And I just feel, or it's like I was always the disobedient kid, or I was always just not listening, or, you know, I was just the kid that at a point, I just didn't care. Like, I just wanted to do what I wanted to do. I just wanted to have fun. I didn't want to be stuck in the emotions and just feeling like depressed. So I would act out. And sometimes me acting out, it did not lead always in the best way. But I didn't know, like, I was never taught on how to deal with my pain. I was never taught, like, how I'm supposed to go about things. So I ended up having to teach myself at such a young age, and that kind of sucks, because it like messed me up, but also made me the woman who I am today. So it's sad, but also I'm grateful for it. Like, I had to also forgive myself for some of the things that I had did, because it's just like, there are people that I also hurt along the way, of me getting hurt along the way, of me going through my depression and my anxiety. And mind you, I didn't even know I had anxiety till I was about 17, 18. So it's like from 12, 13 all the way up till about 18. It's like, bro, there's so much I didn't know that I had to teach myself. And it's like, as I got older and I started learning things, it's like, I wish I would have known this before, because I wouldn't let that stuff happen. I would have never did what I did. So it's like, you know, I have my L's too I had to take. And also along those ways, people who hurt me had to take those L's. Because at the same time too, I promise you, when you're a real one, everybody that leaves you is going to come back. Whether you were right or wrong, whether they were right or wrong, they're going to try to come back. And that is your test if you're gonna sit there and take them back and forgive them, or if you're just gonna let them go. And I had to learn that too, because there was a couple people that had came back and I had took them back. And they just kept hurting me over and over and over again. And all I wanted to do was just feel like, because my parents really weren't there for me emotionally. Physically, yeah, but no, because there was just a lot of stuff they were going through, but I was in the middle of it. So it's like I had all my own feelings plus theirs on top. Like anybody that would give me that time of day, I would be willing to do whatever for if I could. Like, even if I didn't have it, I would try to find it and make sure you had it. Like, that's how I would really rock. And I mean, that's how I still rock. But to a different extent, because you got me messed up. Like, I'm not letting, I didn't see the truth because I was on the inside of the circle. I was on the outside. So it's like, even sometimes my mom would tell me, like, this person's not your friend. And I would be like, what are you talking about? Like, and, you know, I had to go through some crazy ass experience to really peep, like, you know, she wasn't lying. Senior year of high school, I had a really bad meltdown. I was actually supposed to play basketball that year. If you went to school with me, you knew. And sports was like the biggest part of my life, honestly. And I knew something was wrong when I started losing passion for everything I had love for. Like with soccer, I played soccer up until I think about sophomore year. During one of my last games, and I just knew this isn't it. Like, this isn't it for me anymore. And it broke me because that was literally something that has been a part of me since I could walk. So that broke me. And then senior year with basketball on the court, literally tryouts and everything. I think it was the last tryout. Run up and down the court and I just start crying, and I'm like, what is wrong with me? And at that point, I'm like, because I'm not okay. And I was tired of pretending I was okay. I was tired of, you know, trying to find love and what I was looking for in other people, and I just wasn't finding it in myself. So I just knew, like, this, I can't do this anymore. So I just remember going home. My mom told me too that she talked to the coach. She said I made the team and everything, and I couldn't. I was like, I can't. Like, one, I didn't want to do that to the team. I didn't want to, you know, make the team, play on the team, and not fully be there for them. And then, you know, there is me just in the middle of the game, and I'm just, like, not there and costing us a loss. So that's also how I looked at it. Because I know when I didn't, like, they was mad at me. The coaches showed me that. Like, and the thing that also hurt me, too, is, like, they never even pulled me to the side and was like, you know, what is really going on that you don't want to play? It was just, okay, you're not playing, fine. And that also kind of hurt me, too, because it's like, yeah, I should have spoke up, but at the same time, too, I was so distraught with everything of what I was feeling. I just didn't know who to talk to. So that kind of messed me up, too. And, you know, I took that L with that, too. But, you know, it is what it is. So the next, like, 3 years after that, I just had went through some crazy experiences with friends, with people who I thought were my family, and, you know, they kept showing me truth. Like, figuring out, like, what I wanted to be around, what I didn't want to be around. Starting to also, like, I was still stuck on who I wanted to be, who I was. Like, I was confused because I'm like, okay. It was just like, wherever I felt like at home, wherever I felt happiness, even if it was for that little, and I'm not even gonna hold you guys, it was these vlogs that really helped me, like, start to kind of feel better. I was getting more stable and everything, emotionally wise, physically, you know, starting to get my shit together. And then all of a sudden, like, I started to fall off again, and I started to get really late. Then I'm like, okay, I can't talk, because when I talk, I'm being told I'm saying the same thing. So it's like something has got to give. Like, I was really starting to feel like I was going crazy. So it was for a year now as well. I was talking about actually doing mental vlogs, something with mental awareness. Like, I'm gonna just wing it. And that's when I just, you know, was like, you know what, I feel like I get my most clout off Snapchat right now. So I was like, let me just go on Snapchat and even just put it out there and see what people think. And a lot of people started giving me feedback. You know, at first it was like a lot of the females were like, yeah, like, I think you should do this. You know, I go through with stuff like this too. And I wasn't just also just posting about mental health. Like, I was also posting just daily vlogs, daily advice, just even a situation or something that just pissed me off, I would go on there and vent. I mean, I still do that. That's what I'm saying. Tune in, because like I said, that's Ari Speaks 2.0. That's another thing. That's another situation. But yeah, so it's like I started doing these, and then the more feedback I kept getting, everyone was like, yo, you should start making a YouTube channel, you know, spread the your audience. And I'm like, you know what, like, I'm going to do that. Like, I'm gonna do that. It's just, I wanted to take one step at a time, because I was also going through something, trying to find a crib. Like, you know, I just wanted to get myself stable before I was going on to the next step, so I wasn't taking on too much. And that's exactly what I've been doing. And honestly, I'm really grateful the fact that I started doing these vlogs. Grateful for the ones that are already tuning in and be speaking to me and supporting me, because it was not easy coming on here. And I mean, it's sometimes not easy to come on here and just tell the world your story, because not everybody gives a fuck. You feel me? Not everybody cares. And that's kind of the hard part, because you have to sit there and you don't have to take on something that I already had overcame, but you're gonna sit there and talk down somebody else's trauma and hurt. Like, that's just not right. Like, it just, to me, that's not right. So it's like having stuff like that in the back of your mind, but still having the power of like, yo, I'm just gonna do this and just, you know, see how it goes, how I take off with it. And, you know, I've been taking off with it ever since. And I'm just really glad that I did that. And I'm just really glad that I have some of y'all supporting and wanting to continue to watch. I did have some people tell me that I've been kind of helping them, you know, even if just the feeling of them not knowing that they're not alone, knowing that they're not the only ones going through and feeling these things that they feel. It just makes me warm inside, because I really do want to end suicide. Like, I don't want people to feel like that is their result, like that's their only option they have to deal with the pain, because I promise you, just don't want them to feel like that's their only option, like that's the way out. Because when you actually attack your problems head on, it does get better. It does, the pain does get less, and it does get weaker, and you become stronger and you eventually start to overcome your pain. Now, mind you, it might not officially all like go away all the way. You're still, of course, gonna have some traumas that, you know, you can't forget. You're gonna have sometimes that your depression is gonna sneak up on you, and you're gonna have your days you just don't want to get out of bed, and that's okay. But I'd rather have you feel like that 1 or 2 days out of a whole month, or a week out of a whole month, than feeling like that every day. You feel me? Just a little bit counts. A little bit counts. And you just also have to find the willpower and the effort to want to overcome your demons. And that's the whole point of this vlog, is that I want to be a product of example to show you guys that you can do it, you can make it. Because like I said, I was at a point, I was starving myself, you know, I was writing suicide notes. Like, I was at that point. And at that time, I did have like the people around me that I needed, because, you know, they went to adults to let them know what was going on. Like, they technically went to my school, and then I had to get them into the hospital and blase. But, you know, there is a way out, and I promise you, it's not what you think it is. You can, and I just want you guys to know that. Ways of coping with it, you feel me? Majority of mine is, I'd rather be high in the sky off another world in that moment, even if it has to be in that moment, than to sit here and just feel that shit and you feel like you can't do anything, like you feel hopeless. And that's what I'm trying to tell you. I was like, I know what it's like to feel hopeless. I know what it's like to feel like you have no other option, like you have nowhere else to go. But I promise you, you do. And I just want, but yeah, I just want you guys to, and if you don't have anything, like if you feel like you don't have anything to help you cope, find it. Like, you feel me? I feel like that's what one thing you're, whether it's painting, whether it's writing, whether it's riding a bike, whether it's, you know, going on a late night drive, whether it's just listening to music and meditating. You know, I sage, you know, I'm starting to get more into like the spiritual stuff. Like, you know, I sage those, you know, I'm gonna get a crystal blessed. Those are really cool. You should look into those. There's like a lot of ways that you guys can really deal with your pain, and I just want you guys to actually make that something that you like, make that part of your daily living, like dealing with your pain, dealing with your anxiety and depression and traumas, PTSD, whatever is going on in your mind. It's not gonna be like that forever. But I think we're gonna end the vlog there. So thank you for tuning in. Continue tuning in, showing love, supporting, subscribe. share this as uncles, aunts about my vlog, you know, put them on. Stay tuned for next week. I definitely do need some guests on my next, so I'm definitely gonna post that on some of my social medias, and you know, see if anybody you know who wants to be the first guest on Ari Speaks, you feel me, and share their story of dealing with their mental illness or whatever. You know, I know it's not easy coming on here, you know, not everybody likes to open up about that. So we support and appreciate anybody that is willing to come on and talk about their mental illness and their stories, and just, you know, when they realized, when they started realizing that they had it, or what made them start to deal with it, how they cope with it, you know, all that. So stay tuned in for that, because I'm excited to have a first guest on here. Let me, you know, we have a couple people that's like wanting to do it. I think I might just put your name in like a raffle, and we're gonna get more into that next week. I'll post more about that on my Snapchat, so stay tuned for that. Tune into that. I'm gonna put it, you already know, it'll be at the end of the video. But thank you guys.